All right. So this is our Thursday stream. We've decided that we're going to do it first thing on Thursday to give the entire day a chance to get some views in for this. This is our weekly stream. I'm here with Monk from Monkey Chong Gaming, and now we are ready to do our top 5 video for the week. And our topic this week is Nintendo 64 games. So
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna start us up here on Crucible, and we can get started. Monk, you're number 5. Well,
My number.
before we do this, do you agree with
All right.
me when I say the Nintendo 64 was probably one of the best, if not the best, game console?
Whoa. Now, yeah, I would. That's
Okay.
pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Like that's my way of thinking. Like I enjoyed the Nintendo 64. I've spent months on this console. I had one last year, and I wouldn't mind getting another one. But if I
hmm
do get another one, my top 5 for this console I would absolutely have to get. Although a couple of them are really hard to find.
I still have mine in storage somewhere, and I think I have every one of my top fives. I'm sure, and probably my mentions as well,
Okay. Well, maybe
just
we'll
from
have
just from when I was.
maybe we'll have a couple of the same. Okay, so you're number 5.
Possibly. My number five was, and I had a hard time putting these in order, by the way.
I did too.
My number five was Paper Mario.
Oh,
I absolutely enjoyed Paper Mario. It was a great game. It was the first, I think, RPG Mario since the Super Nintendo one, which I also loved. But it was so great. The little sidekicks you have, it's fantastic. I like the art style, the combat, the gameplay mechanics and stuff. The storyline, which is, I mean, it's Mario, so it's kind of the same storyline generally,
all
but
right.
I just enjoyed it.
I did enjoy the art style of Paper Mario. Plus, I mean, the Nintendo 64 at that point in time, I mean, it was outdoing graphically every console that we had seen before that, especially
hmm
before that, but it was even outdoing the PlayStation that came out about the same time, maybe, not exactly the same time, but it was right in there. And I think PlayStation came a little bit after that, but I still feel like the Nintendo 64 had better graphics, which is funny.
Depends on the game, but yeah, I
But
could agree with that.
I mean, but it's crazy now because Nintendo, you can't hardly ever get a good graphics out of a Nintendo console or system anymore. Anyways, my number 5 is Mario Kart. Mario Kart
Right.
64. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, up until this point, it was probably, it's one of the funnest Mario Kart games.
Control.
hmm
Still, I would much rather play it than one of the newer ones.
Move in and take
Oh yeah, I
Um,
enjoyed the hell out of it. Man. I
beyond
played
your
it.
life.
but Mario Kart would be my number 5. I mean, the tracks, all of it. I mean, it was all just a great game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the battle mode that they had. Um, the tracks, like you said, was great. I don't think I've ever not enjoyed a Mario Kart, but that was definitely probably one of my favorites.
Okay, so let's continue down the list. Number 4.
Number
What?
four. My number four was GoldenEye.
Oh, okay.
It's a fantastic game, as I'm sure you know if you played it.
It is.
The multiplayer
Enemy
was
claim the zone
fantastic. The gameplay, fantastic. The story was pretty spot on with the movie.
You've lost the lead.
Um, and I just like the replay value of it. I played
Right.
the hell out of that game. Tried to unlock all the cheat codes and all the different
Of course, she
Everything you could
goats.
possibly
The
do on
age
there,
of
I
the
tried to
cheat
do it.
codes.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4, speaking of replay value,
Hmm.
my number 4 had an amazing replay value. My number 4 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I may have would have put that on mine, but I didn't play it on the
Um,
N64. I had it on PlayStation.
I had it on N64, and I couldn't tell you how long I would sit and play this game. I mean, even after you beat it, I could still play the same level over and over and over again because I had that much fun playing it.
Oh yeah, I did on the PlayStation. Me and one of my buddies we had such a blast playing it.
You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage.
So
But
that was, I
unfortunately, I
mean,
didn't have it on the 64.
Zone A.
so let's continue. Let's go down to number 3 now.
My number 3 would be Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
You know what? That's
I'm
perfect
sure
because
that
that is my number 3 as well. It
I'm
is.
sure that game has
That's
its flaws, and I mean, I couldn't really find none. 'Cause I just enjoyed it. I mean, it's all around great game. It's one of the best
Zone
Legend of
C,
Zelda games I've ever played.
have advantage.
I mean, in my honest opinion, I mean, Ocarina of Time is probably my favorite Zelda game.
5 minutes.
It's definitely up there on my favorite Zelda
Um,
game list. The
I know it's
story, the
the one.
gameplay,
It's the one I played the
replayability.
most.
Zone B lost.
Um,
But of
I
course, I
think,
also enjoyed the handheld Zeldas as well.
yeah, oh yeah, I enjoyed the handheld Zeldas too. I don't know if I played it the most, but it'd be in the top 3 or 4 of what I played the most. Because I played A Link to the Past quite a bit also, as
All right.
well as I think I played Twilight Princess quite a few times.
All right. So number 3, Ocarina of Time. I mean, it's a pretty solid. It's a pretty solid choice.
It is. It is. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody that didn't like that game.
So, number 2.
Zone
Number
B.
2.
You have zone.
Number 2 and number 1 for me was hard as to which one I wanted in which spot. But number 2, I put Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, don't get me
Yeah, I
wrong,
know.
I
I probably.
enjoyed it, but I mean, it's not on my top. I don't even think it would be on my top 10, but I still enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably get some heat or something for it. I figure I would anyways. But I really enjoyed the game. I played the hell out of it. I'm a big Pokemon fan myself. Anyways, I like the game mechanics of you just going around and taking pictures. You have to get different poses and different kind of pictures and stuff. The replay value I found was very, very high, and the gameplay progression was interesting because you couldn't progress unless you found a certain way,
Destroy
even
it.
though all you could do was take
3
pictures.
minutes.
And it was 3D Pokemon.
Um,
Zone C
Dang it.
lost. Power play.
um,
Enemy has your
okay, your number 2 was Pokemon Snap. My number 2 is Pokemon Stadium, the first one.
Oh,
Okay.
right on.
Um, don't. I mean,
You captured Zone B.
the Pokemon games all had a pretty decent replay value to an extent, but I find that Pokemon Stadium 1 was, I mean, it was the closest thing at the time. You know, it was our first console Pokemon game that you got to battle
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I
And
loved it.
I probably played Pokemon Stadium more than even my top choice, my top pick for my favorite game. But Pokemon
Right.
Stadium, you know, you could get all 8 badges on there, and it was a lot different than playing it on a Game Boy at the time, and it was just a whole new thing for everybody. And
Yeah.
I mean,
You probably
just the
played about
mechanics
as much as
alone
me
made it
then.
fun.
Yes, sir. I loved it. I loved
All
it. The
right,
second one I didn't play quite so much, but
I still
the
played the
first one I
second
loved.
one, but
Zone A,
I always went
you
back to
have
the
zone
first one.
advantage.
I never had the second one, so the only time I got to play it was later on when I got a ROM and played it on my computer. And
Zone
by
B
then,
lost.
you know, I already had plenty of other things to play.
Oh my, I cannot aim tonight. Okay, so we got through the first four. Let's hit our honorable mentions.
Only 1 minute left.
Alright, my honorable mentions, one of them is one you mentioned earlier, which is Mario Kart 64.
All
While I
right.
did love it, I don't know if it would be my favorite. I think Double Dash would probably be my favorite. But I did really enjoy 64.
All right.
My other two would be Mario 64, because I mean, obvious reasons. It was new and innovative for its time, and Yoshi's Story for the 64.
Well, I did not even get 10 kills. You can tell I've not been playing Destiny here lately.
I didn't even pay attention to what I done. I didn't want to
I
see
didn't
it.
even look at yours, but mine was terrible. Um, so you
But Yoshi's Story was interesting. I like playing as Yoshi.
okay. Um, my honorable mentions is GoldenEye, which
Mhm.
you mentioned earlier. Another one I played a lot was the Star Wars Pod Racer.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah. I played it a lot. You know, it was a different style racing game, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
My
enjoyed
other
those.
honorable mention, I mean, I couldn't go without mentioning Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah, I never had that one, but I got to play it as a ROM. It was
Like,
pretty interesting.
the only thing about that game is there's a part in that game where there's like this little gate, and there's a piece of chocolate or whatever behind it, one of the collectibles in the game, and you couldn't ever get to
Mm.
it.
Yeah, I had
And,
seen
and that
something
just
on a video
always,
about that.
it always ticked me off. Okay, so let's go to our top pick. Now, if we have the same top pick here, I'm gonna crack
I
up, but there's a
guarantee you we
very good
don't.
chance.
I guarantee you we don't. Only
You
because
don't
I
think
have
we?
information that you don't have.
Okay. So what is your top pick?
My top pick, and again, for me, it was hard between two and one, but I think I got a little more playtime. Well, I got a lot more playtime out of this one, which is why, main reason why it made number one. Pokemon Stadium, the first one.
Oh, okay, okay.
'Cause, I mean, you know, it was fantastic. It was compatible with the Game Boy games. You could play those on there, or you could upload your team. I
Yeah,
mean, 3D
you could
Pokemon, the
put the
mini
little
games,
adapter in there,
multiplayer. Yeah, it was just a fantastic
and
game.
you could actually
That
play the
might
Game
be,
Boy game on the TV. Everything
yeah,
was
that
like
might be
still,
one of my
it was still
favorite
blown up.
64 games ever. It was fantastic. And like you said, we got a 3D Pokemon game, and we
Yeah,
could battle, and I mean, it was just
I
awesome.
still
It was
say
fantastic.
if they would do an open world Pokemon game for a console, it would be the best
Dude,
seller of the year. Like Nintendo consoles
I
would
wrote
outsell
up,
everything. The game would, you know, because you
I
would have
wrote
the
up an idea years ago for that. That would work. It'd work kind of like an MMO kind of thing where they could just update it, you know, kind of like World of Warcraft in a way. But
right
that was like 10, 15 years ago when it worked out.
and like release the first region. A few months
Yeah,
later, put out a DLC for the second region and go all the way down the line.
exactly. Exactly.
All right, my top pick: Super Smash Brothers.
Right on.
I mean,
That is a good one.
what
I
can I
thought,
say about this
Control.
game that has not been said already? Okay, the replay value, I mean, it wasn't too hard, but it wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
And you even got to play with Pokemon. You got to play Mario. I mean, at the time, it had a huge character base. You know, for its time, it had a huge character base. And then as it...
You captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours.
And just all around, it was just a fun game.
It was. I really enjoyed it. It was hard for me not to put it on my list.
My sensitivity is up way
I
too
probably would
high.
have substituted. I could have substituted one for that for sure.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it didn't make my list because I liked the next one better, Melee.
oh, okay. Melee was good, but Smash Brothers 64,
Your enemy has a
it-
power play.
it's a gem. I mean, I
It is.
know
No, I won't disagree with
I
you.
remember when it came out, and I played it when it came out, and I know that me and my brothers played it. Me and my friends that had N64s all would get together and play it.
Zone C
I mean,
lost.
other than Pokemon
Yeah.
Stadium, it was probably one that I played the most. Other than Stadium, I played Stadium more than anything. But right after Stadium, it would be Smash Brothers. So,
Right. Yeah, I played
in
the hell
all-
out of it myself too. It was
all in
great.
all, I feel like we both had pretty solid top fives for that.
Yeah,
I know
I
that
couldn't
when we talked
disagree with
about
any
it,
of yours.
we both said that this would probably be pretty easy but difficult at the same time.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, but it was for sure one of my favorite consoles, if not my favorite. If not my favorite.
Yeah, there was a couple I was going to mention if neither one of us. Well, I know I didn't have them, but if you didn't have them mentioned, one was I was going to call them Mojo's mentions because she had mentioned them and I thought they were really great games, but they didn't make my list and I didn't know if they'd make yours. One was one of yours I can't remember. Oh, Smash Brothers, and the other was Star Fox 64.
Okay,
Enemy has your zone.
Star Fox
Yeah,
was a good
two
one.
great games, but they didn't make my list. I wasn't sure if both of them make your list or not either.
Not over.
Well,
But
there's
she
a
really
lot of-
enjoyed them,
there
and I
was-
was like, "Oh, I'll shout it out." You know?
There's definitely a lot of games that we could have went with because I mean, I think when I was looking, they said in the actually it's also with that Nintendo console. There was more games released in America for that console than there was in Japan.
Yeah, it was just a good console. A lot of people was hating on it, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm doing horrible, by the way.
Zone C lost.
Well, I don't know how I'm doing right now.
Zone.
I feel like I'm not aiming half the time,
You captured Zone B.
but
I'm just not doing good in general.
but while I'm at the top of our list, even though we're losing, I see that little dance.
Yeah.
You captured Zone A.
Just go ahead and do a
Zone
little flip
advantage
out here.
is yours. Zone B
Okay,
lost.
so that was our top 5 for Nintendo 64 games. I'm not sure what we should do as the top 5 for next week yet. I hadn't really had much of a chance to think about what our top 5 for next week could be. But we can
they-
mention that, you know, you were on the Nerd Out this past weekend.
Mhm.
And
Had
you
a
will be-
blast. Had a blast.
You will be returning.
I will.
And I feel like this week's episode should be pretty good.
Zone B captured. Zone
We
advantage
have
is yours.
Urge from Michigan, and then we have Derek Bowman from Virginia. So it it should be pretty interesting because Urge
3
seems
minutes
like he
left.
knows his stuff. So hopefully it'll be a pretty good show this week, and that'll be Sunday
I
at
think so.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. I hope everybody else is ready. 'Cause when I'm coming back armed and ready myself. It's going down.
So, and once we figure out who the wild cards are, I will release the schedule for the second half, which will be the semifinals and the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd he go? Oh,
Oh, I seen that. That was
yeah,
dirty.
he's hiding in the corner.
Oh, I didn't know he had a sword though. Damn it.
It's all right.
Well, that didn't go as
Zone
planned.
B lost.
Is he still hiding there? No, he's moved now.
Stupid grenade launcher. You're lucky I had a reload or I would have shot him.
So, and I'm hoping that, of course, you and Huey are both returning. So,
Zone B
Mhm.
captured. Zone advantage is
at some point in time, you two may end up playing each other.
We may. That's a possibility.
the path to victory.
We'll just have to find out when it happens.
Always hope.
If so,
Fight.
I mean, it's my buddy, but I ain't gonna hold back, as I'm sure he won't hold back either.
So, and we can go ahead and mention, since this is the final minute of this live stream, the winner of the Nerd Out receives a PSN card. So you
Yes, sir.
basically get a couple months of PlayStation Plus for free if you win. And here's the kicker. Of course, we were talking, and a few people have said that they've wanted to see me compete.
Yep. That
So
would be interesting, I think.
whoever wins gets to compete
I know
against
this
me
path, Guardian.
in the season
This is
finale.
where you come back.
That'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
And the way we're gonna do it is the guys that
10 seconds.
have competed will be judges. Maybe not necessarily in the chat party, but at least on the live stream.
You're defeated.
Right.
Fight again.
And
Persistence is key.
That'll be interesting because once you give out something, no matter what, you'll have to wait a little bit because of the delay to see what the result is of their decision.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
so, and that way it'll keep it fair between me and whoever the season champion is. And
Yeah.
we'll see if they can hold up in the Nerd Out against, myself. So I figured that would be fun, and one of the people will be the guest host that have competed
Alright.
this season. So you may be there, it may be Huey, it may be one of these other guys.
It may be.
Only time will tell. So make sure you guys tune in next Thursday for mine and Monkey Chong Gaming live with the top 5 next Thursday. And
Ooh,
be sure not to miss the Nerd Out this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until
I
then,
know I'll be there.
yeah, you'll be watching because you got to see who you'll be
Oh, yeah.
playing.
Definitely.
So at the end of the episode, there will be a poll for the Nerd Out wild card round. Basically, the 3 losers that have lost, you can vote on them, and then the top 2 people will come back for a wild card round to give them a second chance to make it to the semifinals.
Sounds good.
So be sure to vote, be sure to tune in, and until next time, you guys have a good one.